This is Team 14, George Knier and Sydney Ahlschlager, and we designed Whac-A-Mole for the board. So to start off, Whac-A-Mole is a game where you move a cursor around and you attempt to hit moles that are popping up in a 3x3 grid. If you hit the mole, then you gain a point, and if you miss a mole, then you lose a life. And if you also take too long to hit a mole, then you lose a life as well. The moles will gradually pop up with increasing speed, so it becomes harder and harder to hit all the moles. So to start off, we stored the high score for the player in the EEPROM, and that's displayed on the start screen. And to start the game, we use the capacitive touch. So you just touch anywhere on the screen, and then that will initiate the game. So once you're in the game, then you will use the PS2 joystick, which is controlled by the ADC, to move the cursor around. And then we use the I2C IO expander to use the top push button to whack the mole, the bottom push button to change the color of the cursor, and then also the IO expander controls the 8 lights that represent the lives that the player has on the right side. So all of the images are displayed on the LCD, and then also the timers are used to flash the indicator light and control the ADC as well as the cursor. And also, since we worked remotely, we use GitHub to commit all of our changes.
Okay, this is our 353 final project with Sydney and George. So we have our touchscreen to start the game, and when the game starts, the mole moves based on a timer. And then if you make it on the mole, you press the button, and if you hit the button, then the score increments. And if you miss the mole, then the number of lives decrement. The buttons and the lights were used from the IO port expander, and then the PS2 controls the movement of the cursor. You can change the color of the cursor with the down buttons, and the blinking light on the launchpad indicates that the game is active. When the game is over, you have the game over sign, and then you can reset it, and then this is the high score overall from when the game is played. To pause the game, we press the spacebar, and then it pauses it, and then if you move the cursor and play with the buttons, once you resume it, the cursor and the buttons shouldn't have moved from where they were before. The speed of the moles increases every time, but if you miss the mole, the speed increases twice as fast. And then when the game is over and you have gotten a high score, the high score is changed on the main page.